What you mean, man? He's giving his heart.
Guess what? They talking about their grandmothers the same way.
There's a lot of women out here, and all of them don't have multiple kids. There's a lot of women out here who do have multiple kids that take care of their kids. You got to be mindful of who you attaching yourself to. But I understand. I'm going to tell you like my mother told me. Stop picking up the puppies. All right.
So our next segment, a lot of y'all who comment on our videos, thank you. We appreciate the interaction. The rest of you who don't, get in the comment section, speak your mind so that we can do what we're doing right now. And that's reacting to your comments on our videos. Let's start off with at Langa_RSA. This is off the video of when we talked about the post-election fiasco that was going on. And Young Hemp, I believe you made a comment, and the comment goes as, your blackness wouldn't allow you to vote for Trump.
Damn right.
I would have subscribed, but that line right there just turned me off. I'll still watch your videos, though. You seem interesting. I'm going to let you start off since you're the one who said it. What do you think of Langa_RSA's comment?
So first of all, the RSA, I mean, I don't know if this is true. It leads me to believe they might be from South Africa, right? Republic of South Africa.
Go for it. I don't know.
But I don't know. Who knows? But to elaborate on my previous comment, my blackness wouldn't permit me to vote for Trump. So as a black man, right, in this country, I don't think Donald Trump is racist. I'm going to double back like I said last time. I don't think he's racist. If you go back to what he did prior to his electoral campaign, he was surrounded by black people constantly. Black people love Trump. He loved them. Even with this DEI stuff, a lot of politicians and everything will have you think that DEI automatically means black, that affirmative action automatically means black. I'm here to tell you that it doesn't. And a lot of these situations and jobs that black people are getting, and it's because we are the best qualified folks. That's the way we view ourselves is kind of reverse racism. You're thinking, okay, if he's talking about DEI, I'm gonna lose my job. No, motherfucker, you got 2 bachelors, a master's, and a doctorate. You are qualified. You are not a DEI hire. But to get back on topic, I can't say, yeah, I'm gonna vote for Trump when he's going on TV pandering to racist people. It don't sit right with me. It's not ever going to sit right with me when he's doing certain imagery, doing, the same thing that Elon Musk did. Doing
what you mean,
like
man? He's giving his heart.
Listen, I'm never going to do that, right?
Everybody's seeing that.
Yeah, that's unforgivable. I can't align myself with nothing like that. So,
he has Asperger's. Leave him alone.
Yeah, so do I, but I'm not doing stuff like that. So I mean,
and then they're gonna make you seem as if, that ain't what we saw.
Come on, man.
Like really?
I think I'm gonna steal your slogan. Don't insult my intelligence, man. I might be dumb, but I ain't stupid. I know what that is. But I mean, that's all I got to say about that. I appreciate that comment, and I hope they keep listening, man. But I'm not gonna ever vote for Trump or anybody that ever looks like him, even if I agree with their policies.
But then also, to your point, he also hasn't denounced any of the radical racial people that have supported him. Right. He's never openly said, I don't support Proud Boys. I don't support David Duke or these who was the other podcaster who's very... Nick Fuentes and all these guys. He's never openly said, I don't support them because that would mess up his base.
These far-right people.
Yeah.
And the crazy part about it is a lot of his policies are really hurting these people's true agendas. The far-right people, if you look at the things that are happening, the people who benefited most from DEI are white women.
Mm-hmm.
And black women are in the uproar about this shit going away. The people who are not benefiting from being deported are Hispanics. And you got a lot of Hispanic people was throwing on that cowboy hat.
Yeah, a lot of them voted, for
right.
him.
And hey, look, I ain't mad at you. Support who you want. But don't be mad because your cousin got taken out the country. Now you upset because you can't go out here and lay concrete no more because he was your best concrete man. So
which is going to be very interesting with the whole Elon Musk situation and these robots, because you start losing a certain amount of people in certain industries. Who's going to work those jobs? They know we ain't going to work them unless you increase the pay.
Oh no! Listen,
how much of Amazon's factory workers is robotics compared to humans? Because of course they had the drivers, the delivery drivers, but I want to say that a good portion do the stacking, the sorting, all that. I could be very wrong.
You're more sorting. So I've been on the actual Amazon robotics floor. So they have robots doing a lot of the shifting and sorting of goods. So you still have human interactions where you're picking and putting things in boxes. Yeah. But as far as inventory, quality control management, and all that stuff, it's a whole robot floor moving all that stuff
around. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I seen an article. I want to say it was in Tennessee. Amazon went up to as of now. I think they trying to charge. Well, they talking about in the works of paying people like 30 cents an hour.
No,
That was gonna make sense.
That was Costco.
That was Costco.
But Costco,
They're gonna have to do that.
Costco is paying the non-union workers $30 an hour.
Oh, they're
not paying. Yeah, they're not paying the union workers. So they see that raise and they're like, "Oh, we're getting a raise."
Mhm.
No, if you're a union member, you're not getting squat.
Yeah.
But these non-union workers, they getting it. I'm like, yeah, y'all are slick. That's slick.
I'm gonna have to monitor that. That's gonna be interesting because in a situation like that, right? If you're a union worker and there's a contract, there's a CBA. Just like I'm familiar, from your previous employer, you know about CBAs.
Mhm. Those that should not be named. Mhm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So if the contract for this job is covered under the CBA and you're paying someone outside the CBA a certain wage and not paying the unionized worker that same wage, does that violate the CBA? Because most of these CBAs include one thing that the labor side loves, and it's a no strike clause. So if you violate that CBA, the no strike clause goes out the window. And if it sounds like that type of deal would violate the CBA, I'm not a labor lawyer or anything, and I'm not the smartest guy, but I'm not dumb.
Mm-hmm.
You could go on strike. Let's see how that. I'm gonna have to monitor that because I like to be involved in a little bit of cantankerous activity and things like that. I might just go down there and launch my own personal false flag operation and put on the Costco hat. Just start a strike and I don't even work there.
Our next comment comes from the video where why parents are voluntarily giving up their children. And the first comment is from Claire Sigmund, who says, "Not ironic that two black men are leading this conversation."
And look, I want to add that comment was left on Martin Luther King's birthday.
It was. It was. So I just want to get, what do you guys think of Claire Sigmund's comment regarding our conversation regarding that topic?
And the 3 people that liked the shit.
Yeah, the 3 people that liked it. Don't worry, we will find you.
Yeah.
Black man can't do nothing right, bro.
Oh, boy.
Nah, we always gonna be judged. There's always gonna be some level of racism, but it's just like I honestly thought it was funny. You know what I mean? Because I like when people show their true colors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you just, the thing is, Claire, thank you for showing your true colors and saying that, but then also say something positive about it. What did you learn? What did you not like? Don't just talk about us having the conversation. Give some insight so that way we can rebuttal or do this comment thing and say something on a more intellectual aspect of what you're saying. But yeah, 2 black men having, okay, yes, whatever.
But the funny thing is, this is what I find crazy, right? So the same conversation we having, they be having,
right,
about their friends and their family members.
But
we're just saying it
Tyrone,
on the podcast.
Tyrone, he's a no good.
Guess what? They talking about their grandmothers the same way. They aunts the same way. It's just because we're saying it and we're black men, it's a problem. You know how many women are in friendships with other women that's like, she's not raising this child right.
Right.
She doesn't know what to do as a mother. I can't believe she don't take her daughter a bath. That's something simple. You'll be amazed how many women talk like that about their friends.
Yeah.
I'm not amazed because I know.
And then here we are, we're talking about the same thing from a male perspective, and y'all looking at us like, well, something wrong with us for hitting the issue. No, you feel the same way. You're just not saying it.
Yeah.
So what? Everybody's supposed to be like remain silent about the topic or something? No, it's true.
Yeah. And not just that, also reflect on the fact that we're trying to have this conversation to better the circumstances that are in those stereotypes.
Solution oriented.
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all are just criticizing. Y'all niggas shouldn't be talking about this. Like, all right, well, damn.
Y'all, we can't talk about this. We can't talk about 50-50. What y'all want us to talk about?
But see, that nigga word, right? I believe it in its true definition. It's not specific to black people. And the people who hate black people the most are niggas as well. I've never met like everybody I met who was racist reminded me of some niggas that I knew. Like, yo, you very similar to the people that you talk about that you hate.
Yeah.
So, like, I imagine that this person is probably they might not be from Baltimore because this is international, but they might be from Pigtown. You know, they probably got a couple of little mixed kids in their family. You know, they getting a check, all these things, and they probably got some kids that they volunteered to go somewhere else. They probably are suffering from the same type of things and see it in their community, but their skin is just a different color. So, like you said, Travis, I appreciate them commenting.
100%.
And I hope they continue to comment. I hope that you respond to this. Matter of fact, make your own podcast and show your face online, and we can have a back and forth about this.
You know what, Claire? We'll bring you on. We'll bring you on.
Bringing you on.
We're gonna bring you on, Claire. We're gonna bring you on. If you got something to say it to us straight up. The next comment on the same video is from Rich and Rare. All right, he got a profile picture of Kobe. Rest in peace. Also to the Forgotten Seven. But I was married for 15 years after my divorce. And back to dating has opened my eyes on some of these situations. Some people shouldn't have kids. True. I've observed some mothers and fathers completely checking out of their kids to where the kids raise themselves with a tablet, go to school every day and barely read or can't tell time. I guess work on your spelling there, Rich.
He's probably typing fast.
Yeah,
He's flashing it. Don't talk about Rich.
The kids getting in trouble. Come home, hop right on the computer or video game with no repercussions or no accountability. At the same time, holds the world accountable for things that their kids are doing. It's the teacher's fault. It's what I hear. While the child is at school acting a fool, the fathers aren't around while paying $50 a month in support. It's wild out here. Then you step in. There's no responsibility given to these kids. I mean, my mother made us clean the house from top to bottom, which I appreciate now because I don't need a woman for anything. I can cook for myself. I can clean for myself, do my own laundry, iron my own clothes, pay my bills. But I watch these parents handicap their kids and it shows that we are in a rude awakening for the next generation. The man I am, I'm always trying to help while leaving myself exposed to the BS. Leaving myself exposed to all the BS that doesn't have anything to do with myself. I've also had black women mad at me because I'm well put together in my own words and hold that against me because I chose to work other than sit on the couch. Tell me to quit one of my jobs to spend more time with her. I'm just confused on what these women want. Yeah, so Rich had a lot to say, man. He clearly typed it quickly because, he was high in emotion. We hit that trigger spot for him. But what do you guys think of what Rich and Rare had to say on the video?
So I'm gonna kick it off. He hit a lot of good topics. Honestly, I think this is probably really important. I'm really happy that he made this comment because at the end of the day, this is how a lot of men feel. If you put a lot of effort in building yourself, not only financially, but also your character, and you take pride in it, you're going to be upset at the state of black people. But Rich, I'm going to say, you got to have some discernment, brother. There's a lot of women out here, and all of them don't have multiple kids. There's a lot of women out here who do have multiple kids that take care of their kids. You got to be mindful of who you're attaching yourself to. But I understand. I'm going to tell you like my mother told me. Stop picking up the puppies, all right? I feel bad for the woman out here, and I see the little kids, and I say, oh, man, she's like, she needs some help. I want to come in and be Captain Save them. But you can't be mad at them. That's how you found them. You knew them kids was bad as shit when you start dealing with them. You knew that. You knew the baby daddy wasn't around when you start dealing with her. You knew that. So if you really want to get a woman on your level, that's really what you want. You got to have that discernment and trying to find her, A, and B, you got to have enough discipline not to go after the big butt and the smile because a lot of them, you ignore them 5 kids when that thing is just bouncing in that sundress. I've fallen victim of it myself. You see they got the kids in tow, but the booty just talking to you, make you make a bad decision real quick. So Rich, I would have Rich on. Rich sound like he got some things to say.
Yeah, it's crazy because when you're in these situations like Rich have been in, it's hard because sometimes you don't get to see it till after you're in it already. And I tell guys all the time, like, you have to be a very man that's in tune with himself to date a woman who have kids. Only reason why, because when you insert yourself in that situation, it's so many different variables. Like, if y'all break up and you get attached to the kid, then what? You see what I'm saying? What happened if you provide for this child and she decides, well, I want my father to walk me down the aisle, not you? These are the things we don't really talk about. You know what I'm saying? And some people have a problem with, and they're not mature enough to have these conversations. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, some people, they discipline their children different than what you would. And so that could be an issue. And so, yeah, you just got to be mindful when you're dating women who have kids, man. Rich, you got to make sure you're taking your time before you insert yourself in certain situations. But for the most part, a lot of women, they don't know how to raise their children, bro. They're not teaching them principles. Like you said, what he's talking about, that is real life. That is a lot of these women, you know, of course they want us to have sympathy for them because they put themselves in these situations. But these situations that y'all putting yourselves in, y'all not really being honest. And this is why we having the problem we having in our community. Because if you just think about it, bro, you know how many grown men are suffering right now when they get older and they've realized, yo, my mother was the side chick.
Yeah, that's real.
And here I am, a grown man. I know, and I can't interact with men because my father wasn't there.
Yeah.
And I'm beefing with him, but the whole time, my mother was a side hoe, bro.
Yeah.
Or how many women who had kids and the guy was like, yo, shorty, I don't want you to have no child. I'm not going to be there. And you decided to take it upon yourself to force this man to be a man, and he decided not to, and now here go this child that's in this earth. You see what I'm saying? We don't have these conversations. Or it could be, shorty, he was just a one-night stand.
Right.
Hmm?
And you raise
You
your
know what I mean?
child to
Yeah.
have resentment towards this man.
Yes, bro. Like, you know, we be afraid to have these conversations. And you see that happen, like, you know how many people got grandmothers who got fucking 8, 9 kids?
Yes.
7 different men? Your grandmother was a hoe. She was slinging pussy, bitch.
Hey, look. But you know, hey, listen,
y'all.
it's a hard conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a hard conversation. And so everybody wonder why we all fucked them, why we got all this resentment and hate and this and that, man. And you know, all right, well, these two got the same father, I don't, and so they treat me a certain type of way. Or his father is active in the life and this one not. And so now this child is confused because it's like, well, where my daddy at?
But see, and I'm glad you said that because you might be dealing with a woman who you got a kid by, or you know, you had a kid
Yeah,
by,
same
and
situation.
right.
There you go.
So
There we
now,
go.
as a man, right, you step in and you see the little kid, and you might even provide for them in certain
Yeah,
ways. You take
yeah.
your child to Chuck E. Cheese, you let them come along.
Yeah.
But that kid is, you might start to develop a relationship with that kid, even though it's not yours, and you're not even with their mother.
Mm-hmm.
But that kid still love their daddy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, like I said, it's difficult. And
It
I
is,
understand where Rich is coming from with that because he sounded like he didn't raise a couple people kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they come down to it, it's like, but I'm gonna say this. I'm sorry, Gary, I didn't cut you off.
No, you good.
Rich, don't be no paycheck and don't be saving them, man. Because you know they need help.
Mhm.
And you sound like you got some stuff that you can help these people with. You gotta be mindful of how you utilize them resources, man.
And ain't no telling how old Rich is and what his market is neither, because just like with us, how often, if you dating over 30, how many women you gonna encounter that ain't got no kids?
It's impossible.
You see what I'm saying? So
mean,
now
that's
it come down to, all right, shorty, you know, like I told you, I thought I was playing. Shorty, do you got a job? Do you got a house? Do you take care of your kids?
Yes.
Because if you're not taking care of your kids, then I can't mess with you.
Yeah.
And it's bigger than just getting them dressed and having them put on the designer. What are you teaching your child, shorty?
Right.
And they don't do that.
Are you raising them?
They not raising them, bro. They think just buying clothes and this and that and taking them out, having a good time. Shorty, you're not there. You're not teaching your child no principles whatsoever. And this is why we have a hard time as men, because we insert ourselves in these situations. And now I don't been talking to you for 2 weeks, and bitch, here you go telling, come get your daughter. Who?
Right.
What are you talking about? That's not my child.
Right. But this the thing.
Come get your son. Who are you talking about?
But see, this talk, they call it generational curses, right? A lot of these women don't have fathers. They
don't.
They don't understand the role that a man should play in the household, and they don't know how to facilitate a safe space for a man to come into their life.
Mhm.
And as a man, right, we naturally, I'm gonna be real with you. A lot of times we seek out situations of comfort. So if you was raised in a home with a single woman, you will go to a home with a single woman.
Yeah.
Because that feels like home to you. She might remind you of your mama in certain ways,
Yeah.
but like Gary said, it's a hard conversation to have with yourself. Say, damn, my mom was a side piece.
Yeah.
So you got to be mindful. You got to be strong within yourself to understand how to break these general curses within yourself and to not enter situations that are comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times, like I said, my parents weren't together. My parents were divorced. So I find myself, even before I had kids, attracting women who had kids.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the situation that I was accustomed to. That's what a woman should be to me.
Mhm.
Because I love my mother. And that's what she was. She was a single mother. Now she's remarried, and that's great, and I'm happy for her.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that it takes a lot of strength on both parts. And women, you got kids, man, take care of them. Take care of them the best you can. I ain't saying it's not going to be perfect because raising kids ain't hard, but do the best you can. And truly,
But they don't even require much, bro.
They don't. Love
Sometimes they just want you to play with toys.
yeah.
Well, I would say the comment that Rich made was some people shouldn't have kids. I think that comment resonates with me the most because, you know, everyone wants to have kids, but nobody wants to be a parent. And there's a huge difference in that. Like you said, sometimes it might not be much, but regardless, even if with one child, that's a lot of effort you got to be willing to put in there. And you have to know that ahead of time. So if you're out here like, oh, I'm just, you know,
It comes
spreading the
down
seed
to
around.
sexual discipline.
Right, right. So if you're out here spreading the seed and just being like, oh, I'm going to have kids from wedlock, it's like, okay, well, do you know, back to that generational curse, long term, the effect that's going to have? Most people don't think of that far ahead. I mean, it's that right now. And I know we talked about this before. That right now in the moment, especially with when it comes to sex, having that sexual discipline and everything. But I mean, I think you said it. The two biggest decisions you're going to make in your life: who you're going to marry,
Who you have a child by,
and who you have a child by.
all day.
And
Because when you having sex and you in it and it's wet, neither one of y'all thinking clear.
You ain't lying.
Just keep it honest with you. You know, because guess what? You ready? When you could bring any man or woman on, and they'll tell you, if you ask them, what was it about this man that you decided, if I have a child by him, I'm gonna be all right? You see, he showed no signs of that. He was just swinging that, and you was like, okay, good. Hey, this is my shit, right? Yeah, this yours, this yours, this yours. There we go. Now here comes the child, bro. And your life changes. Your life changes. This is why you see this stuff on the news where, the mother killed the child or left it in the hospital, bro. And then we getting mad, but mentally they wasn't prepared, bro. They wasn't, bro. And so we suffer from that, man. That's why I say, especially in our community, bro, because if you look at what's being pushed on these kids and what's being pushed with these women acting like men, and they can never outdo us being a man, you set yourself for failure. You set yourself for failure. But yeah, Rich, once again, there's so many different things I get from this, because maybe he is a man who's established and don't want children right now at the moment, so he probably dating women who got children. To take his time. Ain't no telling what he got going on. But like you said, you got to have discernment, and also you got to understand who you are. As a man, I don't have to insert myself. There's a lot of women I could choose from. I don't have to really place myself in that situation. And that's why you got to be real with yourself. Man, listen, if I'm going to play stepfather, I'm going to play that to the T, and I'm not asking no questions. Listen, short, if I insert myself in a situation, man, if dude come back in her life, I got to respect that.
Right.
If she decided, if I spent all my money on her getting to college and being the woman she is, bro, and she said, hey, I want my father to walk me down the aisle, I got to respect that. I did my part. All I did was, guess what? All you did was show me as a man, I was able to love outside of myself because you don't belong to me, but yet I have an opportunity to change the community because you're not mine, but I can point you in the right direction. So now you got no excuse. So I'll wipe away all the excuses now. So you can't say, oh, because my father wasn't there. No, I was there, and I told you how a man should treat you. You see what I'm saying? So if you're not going to do all that, you got to come out of that, bro.
Right.
You got to come out of that.
That example you gave is really, honestly, that's really a function of you. If you give and raise that child up, and she decides, you know what, my dad wasn't there, but I'm gonna still love him.
Yeah.
She probably couldn't have done that if she didn't have that man there to fill the shoes, because a lot of women have a deep-seated hatred of men based upon their relationship with their father. And that's really why us as men are having problems, because most of us, I ain't gonna say, I know y'all specifically date black women. I've dated women that aren't black. I'm not gonna speak for y'all, but dating majority of black women, 9 times out of 10, their father he wasn't shit. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, broken homes.
Yeah. Even if he was around, he wasn't the best dad a lot of times.
When I talk to a lot of women now that's older, you'll be amazed how they hate their mothers now.
Yeah.
Because they finding out, Ma, you kept me away from this man. So imagine growing up, man or woman, bro. Imagine out of resentment because I said, I don't want to be with you. You think I don't want to be in my child life. And think about what we go through. Man, I just want my child shorted, and the hell you got to go through. Some guys don't have the tolerance level, bro. They be like, all right, fuck it, then when you get older, then come holler at me.
Yeah. I remember that video. I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming it's real or whatnot. I forget who that lady was, but I remember it was the parents sitting across from each other, and there was the 3 daughters, and the wife had convinced the daughters that the father was molesting them.
That's crazy. See, that's
out of spite.
Bro. That's too
And
much.
then
What type of woman is this?
And then
The one that's hurt.
and then
Miss Yvonne has acknowledged that her story about you touching your children in a sexual way was not true.
Why didn't you fight for him harder if you knew you
Excuse
didn't
me.
do it?
Sorry, I need you to say that you did not rape your girls. I need to hear it come out your mouth the way I've always heard it.
so when that truth was revealed, imagine all these years you're thinking your dad was doing this and the mother was lying. So then now it comes to the table for her to apologize. And her response is, well, why didn't you fight for them? why didn't you fight? Why would I fight? And you're lying.
Yeah.
So now the daughters are like, okay, well then, if this how it's gonna be, you're dead to us then, because that's crazy.
But I
This
wanna
whole
ask
time you've ruined
the
a
same
relationship.
question Gary asked. What were you thinking as a man when you had a child with this woman?
They don't
So-
think, bro.
I wasn't thinking when listen, man, I ain't gonna lie. I got a kid. Me and my baby mother don't always see eye to eye. And I asked myself, where was I? And she probably asked herself, why did I have a kid with him? And I'm gonna answer the question. It was the sex.
It was the sex, bro.
The se-
And then not only the sex, where you was at in your life.
yeah.
We all went through a lot of things. Like the person I was 3 years ago, I'm not that person no more.
That's true.
And so now when you having a child and you co-parent, and I was like, oh, you think you better? No, baby, I changed. I can say that. I'm
I
not
am
the person
better.
you met. Yeah. I'm not the person you met when we had this child, man. I'm different now. But that's what it be, bro. Listen, the sex, those toxic relationships are the ones where you be in situations where it's so wet and it's so good. You're not thinking clear. That's
true.
why I hate to say this, but that's what people say, yo, just masturbate.
But you know,
Get that nut out so you get the post clear so you can just
Post-nut
relax.
clarity.
But yeah, because you really horny.
But you know
Don't
what's
do that.
crazy though? Like y'all know what it means to be neurodivergent.
Mm-hmm.
They a lot of times have sex demons, right? Let's say if I'm a person, if I got, I ain't saying you neurodivergent, but let's say you got ADHD or you might have Asperger's, like something that's going on with you, not crazy, but they be having the best sex, right? And this is who your baby mothers will be. These are the baby fathers and the baby mothers of the world. You gotta come up out of that sexual thing because trying to tell you the people who got the best sex be the worst people.
But you know why they're worse people? No, I'm gonna say this before we move on. This is real talk, bro. I've encountered a lot of women. All the women who had the best sex that I've encountered, they all had one thing.
It was batshit crazy.
They was raped and molested.
Oh my God. Yeah, you're right.
They was forced to become a woman at a young age.
Mm.
And they become promiscuous.
Mm.
And as they get older, the things that they was taught, and same thing for men. I'm gonna put my business out there. I had a situation where a young lady who was older than me, who was watching me, had me doing things. And then you're forced to become an adult now. You've been robbed of your innocence. And so, like you said, yeah, it is some form of spiritual attachment now, because now it's like, yo, why the fuck this person is a pussy magnet? Or why this person, why you got so much swag? It's like a mark on you, bro.
Right. They know.
They know. And those women, like I said, those women who've been through those things, man, some of them that I've encountered, best sex in the world.
See, I would like to have, and this is a conversation I think for another episode, where a young lady told me there's like almost no women who've never had a situation where they feel like they've been either molested or even further, right? And maybe we should try to shine light on that at some point, because I think it's not talked about enough, where if you polled 100 women, 99% of them would say that something happened to them in their life.
Yeah. And from brothers, uncles, family members.
Right. It's a
so you gotta be
serious problem.
So what I realized, even being a black man dating black woman, you gotta be a strong ass nigga, bro.
Yeah.
Cause they got so much shit that they've dealt with, and now they lean into you. So now you playing father figure, brother, uncle,
Yes.
everything. And so sometimes when they lashing out, you just gotta, all right, she's going through her shit.
Yeah.
You can't even take it personal. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, shorty, right? All right, you done? Meet me upstairs. I fuck the shit out you. Go to sleep.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. No, I'm serious, because they've been through so much. But listen, I dealt with one, bro. She was raped and molested, bro. And when we would go to sleep, she would always have like covers all over. I'm like, what the fuck you like? But she's traumatized from that shit. You know what I'm saying? These are grown women, and you got to think about it like these grown women who have bumped heads with their mother because their mother, boyfriends, or whoever was fucking with them, and they didn't believe them. And so now you're dealing with women who have so much trauma, bro. Like they just feel alone. And so yeah, and then they very promiscuous, bro.
Yeah.
They willing to do whatever the fuck, because they just, you know what I'm saying? Like the shit be crazy, bro. But that's what's happening. At least for me, I know for a fact, every woman I have fucked and we had great sex, it's like kindred spirits. Fucking like rabbits, bro.
So it's the spiritual connection. And I'm sorry.
It is, bro.
Well, I want to also say, but to Rich and Ray's comment, like I also, when he says I learned to cook and clean for myself and do things for myself, he doesn't mention whether he was raised with just a single mother or a father. So I'm very curious where his background comes from, because I can kind of relate to where he's coming from, of knowing how to, care for myself and grow up, but then also at the same time, what we talked to about discernment and self-awareness of being who we are. I grew up with a mom who raised me, you got to clean, cook, clean, do all that, very disciplined. But then at the same time, she tried to keep my father out of my life. I didn't know until I was maybe mid-20s. My mother showed me, like, here's the court document. Your father served me papers so he could be in your life. So that's how I learned to be a man, was where it's just like, oh, I was raised by my mom, and I went down kind of that brainwashing technique of being raised by a mother and how that affects young black men, but then realizing, oh, my father was fighting to be in my life. He was there for me. So I'm very curious, you know, Rich and Rare, when it comes to your interactions with women, what your home life was like, and then how you have to be really strong about self-awareness, discernment, and the communication. Because if you're dealing with a woman with children, she's dealing with trauma and all these past things, it's a very strong thing to have to be mentally aware of who you are and the spiritual connection you have. And then if you're dealing with kids, mutual communication on how we're going to discipline them, or how are you raising them? Am I meeting your baby daddy and having a conversation with, like, hey, I'm in these child's life? So certain levels of discernment, awareness that we have to step back and reflect on in order to grow, especially if we're going to be dealing with relationships and things like that when it comes to women with kids. And it's not just black women, bro, because like Ryan said, I dated the rainbow too. All women got levels of craziness to them, you know what I mean? So it really comes down to self-introspection and how you want to communicate and move forward with women. And the thing is, like Gary told me earlier, you just got to keep it real. Like, I've been in the lame position to where I played a nice guy and all this stuff or whatever. It sugarcoats a lot of stuff, especially when you're just trying to clap cheeks. You got to keep it real. You just got to keep it real, but then have a mutual understanding. So, yeah, that's my
and with that, leave your comments down below as to what you think about the fantastic people who commented. We might react to your comment on the next episode, but please share your thoughts, what you agree with, what you didn't agree with, what you like, what you didn't like, all the above, but make sure to comment down below.